Welcome, students. I'm Chris Ripley. I'm going to be your professor for bad1680, and I'd just like to welcome everybody to the class. And I try to do this video every semester to go through the class so you'll have a good understanding of what the expectations are. And this also eliminates a lot of questions that students might have. So with that, you can see I've signed in. We have a new learning management system this year. This is where your classroom will be delivered. So here we have a little thing, bye bye Blackboard, hello my learning. So make sure you take a look at this stuff. I'm not going to go through that, and there's other resources that you might have. But what I'm going to do is just go to our class, BAD 1680, and I'll click here. And here comes the class, and there'll always be announcements. This is what you should see first. And it's going to say, this one says, please watch this video. Well, that's what I'm making right now, is I'm making the video. So it's the night before the class starts, and of course here I am making the video. But anyway, so that's what you see, and you'll notice up at the top here, we're at the course home. If I click on that, it's going to just keep us in the same place. Where you're going to spend most of your time is going to be in the content area. So, and I'll click on that, and we'll get started with Learning Module 1. So that information is here. What I'm going to do first, though, is go to the syllabus, and I'll click on the little syllabus link, and it brings it up, and I'm going to just make it bigger so everybody can see it. And here we have, here's the information about the syllabus, course number, when it is. Here's my phone number. Use this as a last resort. Try to get in touch with me with email. That's the best way to go. And if you need to talk with me, just give me a call. But try with email first, and I'll get back to you pretty quickly with email. Here's the books that you'll need. This book has been around for a little while, so if you haven't gotten it yet, you might be able to get a cheap used copy. Raving Fans, certainly you can find used, and then Be Our Guest as well, because that's been around for about 5 years. So the course description, students learn techniques in customer service and relations, including initiating contact, establishing rapport, and facilitating final sales to ensure customer satisfaction. Training employees to use customer relations techniques is also discussed, because some of you may end up in supervisory positions where you're going to have other people execute customer service through you. So it's an important thing to realize. Here are the course objectives. I'm going to let you read through each one of those and do that yourself, but I think it's important that you do that. Topical outline as well. These are things that I'm not going to read it for you, but I think you really need to go through it and have an understanding of what the expectations for the class are. This is really important, and if you haven't learned this yet, the syllabus is really the class, and everything that you need to know should be in the syllabus for the class. And if you can become knowledgeable of the syllabus, it will help you be more successful in the class. So I'm not going to read through all that. Here's the policies. I want to go through some of these because I think that it's important. We'll have some exams. The first 2 exams will be on the TIM book, and those will be multiple choice, and then your last exam will cover Raving Fans and Be Our Guest, and that'll be short answers, like paragraph kind of thing, and whatever it might say in here, that's what it's going to be. Late work, I don't accept late work without previous notification and approval. And especially with the new My Learning system, really makes it easier to keep up with these things. So if you're going to be late, let me know and get my approval first before you do it. And I am flexible, I do understand, so it's not like it's carved in stone, but I really want it on an exception basis, not to be everybody late all the time. Academic integrity, another important part. You should read through that. Auditing. Never had anybody audit. I've been teaching for 11 years at CSM. I'll get you the dates on these. I'll put those right on the first page of the online class. Incomplete. Um, Only consider that in extenuating circumstances at the end of the semester if you haven't got the work done but you think you can get it done within the next month. Sometimes we'll consider that, but I really don't encourage that at all. Disabled student services, just let me know. I've had lots of students that I've worked with in this situation. So here's the grading. This is really important because many of you will want to get graded on this class, and many of you hopefully want to get an A in this class. And the syllabus tells you how to get an A. So here we have what the different things that will be graded will be. You'll have 3 exams. I talked about that. 2 multiple choice, 1 short answer. There'll be 3 assignments. We'll go through those. You'll have 10 homework assignments, and those will be in the online classroom. So you have 15 weeks of class, so not every week you'll have homework. You'll have 12 discussion questions. Again, not every week you'll have it. The week that you have an exam, that's all you have to do is the exam. I want you to study for it and spend the time preparing for it, because preparing for the exam is the most important part. Multiple choice is not easy, and I encourage you to spend time preparing for the tests. And that's why I put a lot of emphasis on, just for that week, just the test, because I want you to study. So, you'll have the 10 homeworks, the 12 discussion questions, and you add all that together and divide by the number, divide by 560, and that'll be your grade. So you should, all of your stuff will be graded within 5 or 6 days of being submitted at the latest. So you shouldn't have to have any question about what your grade is. And if you don't turn in an assignment, and if you don't make any arrangements with me, your grade is 0. And I don't do extra credit as well. I'm giving you a sharp idea of what you need to succeed, and I want you to just follow these instructions. Instructions on written work, just the things that you have to do. I'm not going to read it individually. You need to read that. Grading standards. You take a look at these grading standards. Read your paper. Are the two similar at the A level, at the B level, at the C level? And evaluate your paper. Whenever you write a paper, we have one assignment is not a paper, but the other 2, you'll be doing an interview and evaluating an article. And you should really use this, and even in your homework to a certain degree. But again, just read it and try to understand it. Okay, mechanics, making sure spelling and that type of thing is done correctly, really important. Weekly discussion expectations. This is another thing that in an online format, you have weekly discussion. It kind of covers for the fact that you don't get together as a class and discuss it. So every week we'll have 2 discussion questions, and you need to respond by Thursday. Make your initial response. This doesn't highlight here. By Thursday. And then visit the classroom on the weekend and comment on 2 posts or more from your fellow students. You should have at least 4 posts. Those are the 2 initial responses to the questions, and then 2 responses to fellow students to receive full credit. Now, if you do all 4, but you don't do a great job with it, that doesn't mean that you'll get full credit. So understand that. But this is one of those situations with many students. I look at it as, if you show up and do a good job, you can get full credit here. So it's not going to be graded really hard. No discussions the week of the exam. I may put up a couple of questions if you want to respond, but it's just optional, and generally most students don't, but some do. So here's the rules for online discussions. Please read through those as well. So here, and we got a little space issue here, and of course it takes time to load. Well, I have the syllabus in another spot if this isn't. Hopefully, you won't have this problem. And one of the things you can always do is you can go over here and you can download it. And I just did that, and we'll see. Hopefully, it'll work. So let me go through it. Here, let me make this a little bigger. Might as well go. And so here we go. Discussion. Yep, so here we go. And here's a chart. So I just downloaded it. So if you're having that problem, just download it. We have a new learning environment here, and you're going to have to learn to be a little bit flexible on it, as we all will. Just be patient. So these are the expectations. Read through these as well, and then evaluate your performance. Part of success in academics is being able to do a little bit of self-evaluation and hope that you can be accurate to what I'm expecting. Okay, here we go. I'm moving a little slow here. So here we go. The first assignment that's due, it's a 50-point assignment. What you have to do is go into 5 different businesses and evaluate them based on the questions here. So you should return to me with this assignment. It could be 5 employees at one business or 5 different businesses, however you want to do it. All you have to do is just copy this right here, copy it, and create a new document, paste it in there, paste it in again, paste it 5 times, and that's what you'll return to me after you go in here and type in, and fill it out. And I don't mind these extra lines and all that. That doesn't bother me. But it does bother me that if you don't do it right. So if you want to, you could print them out. You could also just check them off and do it by hand and turn in one document here and turn it in, with 5 pictures. Preferably a Word document, 5 pictures of the 5, but I encourage you to do it this way as I'm doing it here, and it isn't too complicated. So I'm going to get rid of that, just regular copying and pasting. Second assignment is where you need to go out and find the local business and interview the owner. So one of the things you should be doing now is thinking about going out and what local business are you going to be able to do. So that would be it. Here's the questions. I'm not going to go through those. You need to answer those yourself, and when it gets closer to this, I'll give you a little bit more information. Here's the third article. You've got to, find the current customer relations article, and I encourage you all to learn the online databases at CSM. Maybe I'll make a short video on that when we get a little bit closer to it as well. But when you sign into my.csmd.edu, one of the things on that first page is the online databases that you have access to, and that's what you really should use. Or you can use Google Scholar, and if you don't know what that is, Google it. And basically here again, you've got to go through, and if you're going to have a successful paper, you've got to make sure that you have the introductory paragraph, the summation, the analysis, and the references done in the right way, and typed double-spaced 2 to 4 pages. Do all those things, and you probably will get a good grade. So read what the expectations are and follow through. Now here's this course schedule, and every week is a learning module, so that's basically how you have to do it. And you can see, I'm not going to go through this as well, but learning module 1 ties to the classroom. Let me just get this right here where we have learning module 1. So that's where I'm going to transition. So you need to, let's see if the rest of this came in. Yeah, it did. But like I said, if you have to, download it. So, and here's the schedule, everything that we'll be doing by week. There's only 14 learning modules on this. that gives us a little bit of flexibility. Some years we have 14 weeks, some years 15. So I apologize for that. It's not going to affect you at all. Don't worry about it. You'll get the same amount of great learning. And where you'll go to see everything that's going on in the class, we came in at the course home here, and then I would just immediately click on content, and then if you go to Learning Module 2, Learning Module 1, you'll see what you have to do this week. It's all in one place. You got to do an introduction. If you have any questions about the class, you would click on here and then start a new thread and ask your question. So you can see that I already did that with the introduction. So all you would do is start a new thread and go through it just like I did with my introduction. You've got a couple of videos to watch, Johnny the Bagger, and then we have some questions that you need to answer. This is where you would respond to these 2 questions by Thursday and then go in on the weekend and respond or talk back with 2 other students. Here's the Give 'em the Pickle video. Watch this video and then answer the questions here. So that's all we're going to have for the first week. And I'm not going to go into the next learning modules, but you'll have it all right here on the side as more learning modules get added. And you'll just do the work in those learning modules, and you should be successful. So if you have questions, you can post them in the course questions. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I hope everybody enjoys the class.